Yo, people, what's going on? It's the Kitty G on EGTV, and we're back again with another episode of Vibes from the Six. As you guys know, we're going to be going through the Premier League games with all the top 6 clubs and some of the other teams that play in the Premier League. Of course, we don't only just look at the Premier League's top 6. Obviously, Mojo's going to want to talk about Everton and them boys smacking down some teams. We're going to talk about Leicester, of course. We're going to talk about Manchester City being the only team out of the original top 6 not dropping points this weekend. You got Chelsea dropping points against Manchester United. That was a draw. They both take out each other. Liverpool dropped points to Nottingham Forest, as you guys already know. Arsenal dropped points to Southampton today. In you guys already know. I did a match reaction to that. You can check it out right now. I'll put in the link in the description, of course. And we got Alan here, and he's going to be talking about Tottenham and Hugo Lloris's decline. We got to talk about it. But yeah, let's get this show started. We got Alan in the house. Alan, back-to-back losses. How you feeling?
Yeah, thanks. That's the first comment you'd say. Of course it would be. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh my God, winning the Premier League and all that.
You're lucky Busquets is not here after the last stream.
How you could say lucky not being here and all that. I'm here regardless of my team winning or losing. All he'd say is the same thing, repetition, all that. But he only supported Man United because they were winning stuff. Simple as, done, dusted.
Shots fired. Mojo in the building. Mojo, were you in the stadium to watch that game? You're on mute.
You're still on mute.
My bad. Sorry. Yes. I was there in the building, man. Hard game to watch. I'll be honest with you. First half in particular, wasn't a fan of my team. Second half, a lot better. But yeah, man, I feel like I just wanted that curse to end of us not beating Man United at our own ground, man. It felt like at one point we were the team that was playing away and they were the ones playing at home. Disgusting, man.
Okay. We got Rakesh in the house. Rakesh, how you feeling after your team Liverpool? We thought they were back, but then they dropped points.
Rakesh, they brought you back for this? Rakesh, they done you dirty, bro. They done you dirty, bro.
You know what, man? I had not necessarily for Forest. I thought we'd beat Forest, but I'm sure we'll get into it. But the midweek performance wasn't great. And, you know, coming off a big win against City and then to put in that performance, like we got the 3 points. We're not back, man.
Okay.
Ooh. And with the late substitution, Dabs unfortunately could not make it. He's not feeling well. Get well soon, my guy. I know I don't supposed to have like some sort of illness or anything, but make sure you're good, bro. Take care of yourself and come back next show ready to go. But making a making his second appearance on the channel.
It's that laugh, bro. As soon as that laugh starts,
yes,
man.
My God,
day has been ruined. It's been ruined.
Perfect day. You were set up for this, Dubs. I told Dubs, step aside. I've got them rocking now. I'm the only one that's won this, so I can rattle them. I'm doing good, man. Guys, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to listen to this. Everyone making excuses. You've already written your 10 excuses, but I'm enjoying it today.
Okay, so late substitution coming into the game, obviously, is my guy Hamza for Dabs. And you know what? This is not his first time on the channel. This guy was here after we were signing Zinchenko, and he told me, you guys are getting a winner. I just don't know who we're going to replace him with. And you guys ended up getting Gomez, which was our original alternative to Zinchenko. That's pretty crazy. But yeah. Anyways, let's go back before I throw shots at Hamza. He's gonna throw it back 100 times. What game should we start with? The people have been voting. And you know which game they voted for?
Chelsea United.
Come on, they have to have voted the Spurs game.
No,
Chelsea United.
Actually, it's an exact tie at this moment in time between Arsenal and I'm not making this up. It's a tie between Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal's draw. It's kind of interesting.
What? I can't believe it. Hey, Arsenal fans in the building, you guys let me down today, man. I thought we were here to cook Spurs. That's what I was
losing, but I'm winning.
You know what? It is what it is. We'll get on to the Arsenal game, of course. But just to let everyone know who hasn't already done so, we also have, okay, Dammy's in the building. Dammy, what's going on, bro?
Big up, Demi.
Man, what are you saying?
Yo,
Chilling. You're filling in for Busquets today because my guy Busquets couldn't make it. He plays tennis, guys, at late nights. The guy is Roger Federer in hiding. We didn't even know.
For real? We got Somali playing tennis? Let's go, man. We're taking over every sport, bro. Let's go. We're doing this thing.
That's what it is. We gotta do the
Wow.
dance.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
That's the first time in my
That's
life I've heard
amazing.
it. That's
What
why I
a
reacted
line.
the way I did.
Yeah, you never heard of a Somali playing tennis?
Wallahi, I have not. I'm not even lying to you, bro.
Have
Definitely
you?
not. I might live in a bubble, man.
I've played a little bit, but not too much. I'll tell you.
Hey,
that.
you never spoke about it until today, bro. I'm telling you, man.
So, there's pictures online. Anyways, enough about it. Let's before I get defensive. This is my link to my match reaction, guys. If you guys want to check it out, I did the match reaction earlier today. Obviously, we did the player ratings and the match reaction. And if you guys haven't already checked out if you guys haven't already checked it out, go check it out. Just because of the nice artwork, you gotta go check it out. You gotta go check it out. I look so sad in that picture,
That looks
man.
cool, man.
I was dejected, really dejected after that game, but probably not as dejected as some of you other guys in the panel today. Let's be honest, we only drew, we didn't lose, did we? So yeah, I'm gonna just start with this. The Arsenal game, as you guys know, I've already done my reaction. I felt like straight up, there's nothing more to be said. This game was a game that was in our hands. We can talk about refereeing decisions all day. I could pull up all the images of the refereeing decisions for you guys to look at, but it is what it is. All the referee did was he kept a minute. We should have won the game. We should have done what we had to do to win the game. We didn't do that. We weren't clinical, and it put us in a situation where we are. But what did you guys watch the Arsenal game? Just
Yeah, I watched
Just
it.
watching the highlights now. One
I
sec.
don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think you started the game well, first 30 minutes, then you let them into the game because they have no quality. They couldn't really score from it. Minute 60 came, they scored, and you were under the ropes. I don't really think that anyone deserved more than the draw because you were both evened out. They just don't have the quality to finish you off. That's what I think.
I might agree with Dami on this one.
They just don't have any good players. When they got the ball up front, they were all terrible. But...
Okay. What about you, Mo?
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I have to agree with Dami on that one. I felt like their injuries definitely meant that they couldn't really start with the bright spark that usually Southampton can start games with. And I think they couldn't impose the game the way they would have liked. Arsenal definitely were on top at the beginning. And it felt like Arsenal, if they could get 2 goals as quick as possible, they could have probably put this game to bed. The fact that there was only 1 and nothing else after that meant that there was always a chance for Southampton to get back. And in the second half, I thought their performance improved. They deserved a draw from this, bro. I felt like the game was very even. And if anything, they could have potentially stolen it had they had better final third performance from their forwards, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dabs is in the chat saying, Hamza, make sure you tell them about those 17 goals before Halloween.
Hey, Dabs, you're supposed to be sick, bro. Don't take over the show.
Anyways, we're gonna talk about Man City when it's time to talk about Man City. But let's just finish up with the Arsenal. Alan, you just watched the highlights. Am I tripping?
I'm watching them right now. You're welcome.
Okay.
I didn't see the game. I had my boy earlier.
We'll get to Rack.
Come to me last.
Rack,
Yeah,
what are you
look,
saying?
You know what? I must admit I didn't watch the game either. But I've got a bit of a question though because I haven't watched much of Arsenal's recent games. But from what I gather, you haven't been playing so well, like even the Europa League games and stuff like that. And to some extent,
The last 2 games we've looked kind of off the pace. But you know what? People were coming at me getting angry when I said it was tough to watch last game because the last game we played in the Europa League, guys, we had all of the possession. We had every single chance on the moon. We had 9 shots on target in 9 shots in the first half, 0 on target last game. And this game, going into this game, it was more the same. We had majority of the possession. We had majority of the shots in the first half. We were looking scintillating in the first half. Second half came, dropped off. It was just poor.
But this is the thing. Like, was this type of result coming? Has it been coming for a while, or is it? Do you think it's more of an anomaly? Because yeah, I mean, obviously Arsenal have been playing really well so far this season, but maybe this is a sign of a little a bump in the road, perhaps.
You know what? For me, I've said that we're not taking these games as serious because we played the high intensity game against Liverpool, high intensity game against Tottenham, And when we went into those next couple of games, you could tell that we weren't taking it as serious and we weren't as switched on. And that's where I feel like the change in mentality happened. And also, we're playing at home against Liverpool and Tottenham. We're now on the road. It's a different situation on the road. We still haven't seen this team too many times on the road this season. And you know what? The home form doesn't really travel all the time. Let's be real.
Can I ask a question? Just it's not related to the game, but when we get to the Spurs game, you know, since they face Newcastle and we've got Kendall in the chat, I think it'd be fair for her to come in and talk her talk, innit? Like,
She's already talked to
invite
my
out to
channel.
you, innit?
She already talked to our show. She was on after the game, self-plugging, time added on, go and have a look and all that. She weren't as vicious as some of you parasites are. She was quite nice.
What do you mean? We've not said a damn thing. We've not said a thing yet, bro. I might be nice. I might be nice, bro. How can you call me a parasite already, bro?
What is parasites? It's fine. I know what you like. I've been on these streams with you, heard you in Football Wars. Nah, you're all parasites. It's fine. Kendall, she's already been on this.
Hey, he's already called me a parasite. I might as well be evil, man.
Kendall's comment. Where's Kendall's comment? Kendall, just me and Hamza X.
Yes.
The only people that got 3 points.
Oh, yes, man. 3 points.
You know what?
Right,
I gotta give Kendall the link. If you can come on for 2 seconds and cook this guy, we'll let you come on. Don't worry.
Literally,
she hasn't cooked me. She's respectful, unlike you lot.
No. We're gonna add a little bit more. I don't think she's done, bro. That was just the first half. Second half still can happen, bro.
That was her being nice because she's on.
If she wants to come on and roast me, she can. That's fine. I cook everyone else, so it's fine. I take it. It's not that deep. It's fine.
Hey, look, Alan was saying to me that you lot are all made of money and nothing else, really. So he's trying to say Newcastle ain't all that. They ain't got a history, apparently. That's what he said at one point.
Gaps is coming in with saying Arsenal look tired, guys. I told you guys our squad is still not good enough. People are trying to tell me you're in a title race. You should say it like you're the best team in the land.
I've just seen the highlights, and this is where obviously I haven't seen the entire game. I hear there was two occasions Arsenal could have had a penalty. So watching the highlights thing, I only saw one that was like the arm in the back in the penalty area. I'm sorry, but the player threw himself to the ground way too easily. That was a bit soft. The other one is where it didn't even make it to the highlights. It was only a clip on Twitter, and that was pretty much like both jostling for position. And then again, the player just kind of threw himself down on the floor. So for me, both no, but I'm going to keep it consistent. I said that I think Newcastle should have had a penalty against Spurs today, so I'm not just biased. But I think the only thing that saved Emerson Royale, we'll get into that later, is that his arm came out. So I can understand where penalties, people can say penalties can go both ways. Arsenal looked to start the game like they did against all the others, flying out the gates. And you probably should have been 2 or 3 ahead from what I saw. Didn't take your chances. And then you did against Leeds. And the highlights that I saw in the Europa League, you did look very slow in the second half. I don't know if that's you being tired and Thursday, Sunday, but you're not really playing your full first team on Thursdays. It could be nerves already because the expectation's already on you because you're 4 clear. It could be nerves setting in because you're exceeding what you're doing, and players are getting a bit nervous being top of the league and all that. And if you win, you could go 7 point or whatever it is. So it could be that, but you're still playing decent. I agree with what Mo said that Southampton didn't have enough up front to cause you too many problems. But the goal that they did score against you was a very good goal. Xhaka, again, from what I saw, what a great finish from Xhaka, playing out of his skin this season. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of them where at the moment you're not getting over the line or you're struggling to get over the line. So it could be that your team's starting to dip because you've been well overperforming what you're meant to do.
Let me just say this, Alan. I got 3 images for you guys. Let me just clarify what's going on.
Images are always worse.
1 second. Gabriel Jesus in the far right. You have Gabriel Jesus getting tackled. In the far left, you have Bukayo Saka, which was booked for simulation because it seemed like he went down too easily after he got pushed and tripped. And then the one in the middle is their defender, who I think got booked with a yellow card, but he subsequently looked like red. That he should have got a red because he tried to headbutt him.
Okay, so The one in the middle, I haven't seen, so I can't comment. That's a still. I don't comment on stills because they look so much worse. Like I said, the one on the right, I've seen on Twitter, and although it looks worse with his arms around, basically what he's doing is fighting. He's trying to move the person out of the way, and he's going that way as well. So that and then he just throws himself. Not a penalty. The other one I haven't seen either, so I can't comment. But still images always look a lot worse than the actual real thing when you watch it.
You know it's bad refereeing when you have rival fans messaging you saying, you know what, today you can complain about the referees.
Did I? I don't know. I haven't seen what people messaged, but I did. As soon as Arsenal dropped points, I did say it would be the referee thing, and you drop points, it's the referee.
No, but this was honestly, I even did a video on this. This was the worst refereeing display I've witnessed in my life. In a long time.
It can't be that bad. Come on.
Nah.
Come on. It's the same game, bro. I didn't think it was that bad.
Bro, it was terrible. But you know what? I didn't even use it as an excuse. Today, we were terrible in the second half. Every single player was terrible in the second half. You couldn't name one player that was good in the second half. That was how bad it is. But you know what? I think we should move on because there's a lot of other things that we need to talk about, and we've spoken about Arsenal on this channel for over 3 hours now.
One second.
Can I just
Jesus
make a point after?
Well, shame on Jesus. You in the second half when you're running through clear on goal and you allow that Southampton player, you should be bearing that way before you even try to take that shot to allow him to get back. And that is, you should be taking that as soon as you hit the 18-yard box. At your foot, gone. And he held on to it, allowed the Southampton player back in. A clinical finisher who scored plenty of goals this season would have buried that. One touch and gone. He's got to be more ruthless in front of goal. He's done well. He's got to be more ruthless in front of goal.
You know what? Don't used to Lacazette. That's disrespectful.
I never said lack of threat.
That's your former player, Hamza. Do you not?
I've got to get shots in now because you're all coming.
He's a good player, man. Arsenal fans were saying he's a number nine. City wasted him. He's the new R9. He should have been R9. And I said, listen, this guy, we've tried him. He's not a striker. He's a winger. He tends to drop off. He's a good hard worker. I like him. He will give you everything you can, but he's not a number 9. But I think Arsenal today, when I saw them play today, listen, I wanted that draw because I wanted Arsenal fans to be humbled. I needed them to draw that result because I'm scared of Arsenal winning the league, and people are not taking seriously. And I think I've said it from the beginning. I think they're a threat, and you have to take them as a threat. And today's result for me, I'm happy.
Can take this from Man City fan, innit? Like, so if a Man City fan says it, Arsenal fans, you gotta trust it, innit? So what you're saying, Hamza, is that Arsenal are title contenders, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah, they are. They are title contenders. There's a reason why they're top of the league.
Were
There's a reason why.
Last year?
We definitely weren't. Before even the ball kicked off, I could tell you that.
But he technically had you guys as title contenders.
Oh, he had us there. Yeah. Of course he did.
Most BBC pundits had Chelsea as title contenders last year.
And I said they were having a laugh. I told them all. And hey, look, I wasn't wrong, was I?
I think people are scared of pressure.
You know what? There might be some pressure.
I think you're scared of pressure. Let's be honest.
10 games.
Let's be honest. We all know what Hamza's doing, guys. We all know what Hamza's doing, right? Hamza is scared of just being told you're going to walk this league, and then they F it up. Then he's like, fuck, there's no excuse, none whatsoever. So what does he do? Deflect it to as many teams as possible around him. And he's like, that way, Man City, if we do F up, hey, I did tell you these were title contenders from the whole time. It's a good defense mechanism. I see your trick, bro. I like it. I can't even blame it.
No. Arsenal are a good side. I'll be honest with you. Listen, there's a reason why they're top of the league. They've been absolutely... They're up front. They're very good. They got absolutely hungry young players. Saka, Martinelli, I like them. I just want them to... Even I'm praying. The only thing I'm praying for is Jesus to start for Brazil. I don't want Richarlison to start. I want Martinelli to start. I want them to come back home tired. I want them knackered by the time they start. Because I'm not scared of Chelsea. I'm not scared of most teams, yeah? I'm not scared of United. I'm not scared of Liverpool because of Klopp. I'm scared of Klopp, but I'm not scared of Liverpool team. I'm scared of Klopp because he can just turn that team around. But Arsenal are a threat that we're not taking them seriously. And that's why, to me, my best result for the weekend is Arsenal drawing first.
We're getting respected a little bit. I like it. Let's move on to the next game because, guys, there's a vote in the poll for which games people want us to talk about. And guess what? 57% want us now to move on to the Spurs game, and only 19% want to talk about the Chelsea game.
Hey, Alan, turn it back on, bro. What? How dare you turn it off immediately?
He has to come back, man.
He
Sorry,
has
guys,
to
man,
come back.
difficulties.
Well,
You're breaking up.
Just in time. Just in time.
Oh, this is a setup.
Look at this. He's running. Don't run,
This is
Alan.
absolute
Get back in here, bro.
Just
What
in
a
time to
setup.
talk about this first
Hi,
game.
Alan.
Kendall's in the house.
Kendall, we've seen each other. Be nice. You've already done this. Be nice.
I'm acting so brand new now. I'm acting like I've never seen Alan before in my life. But just want to say hi, everyone. Hi, gentlemen and winners. That's me and Hamza. Nobody else. Unfortunately for you lot. Very sad. I do feel sorry because some people will only see 5 and 6 this season. They won't see 4, and that's sad for some people. I do feel sorry for you, but hope everyone's good, and I hope everyone with the 3 points has a lovely week ahead. As Sambi Lakonga says, what a great way to start the week. Lovely, absolutely beautiful to start the week with 3 points, because I know some of you don't know what that feels like. Beating Nottingham Forest, it's not for everyone, unfortunately. So, it is what it is, sadly.
Kendall, could you say something for some of us that have no points this week? Could you say something nice to me? Because I've got no points.
I'm very sad that you're a Tottenham fan, Alan. Sorry for
that's
that.
just hurt something.
Yeah, damn.
I'm not gonna lie. This is a new
You were nice on my stream.
Guys, this is a new Kendall. You want to know why? Because I messaged Kendall at the beginning of the season, and I said to her, your team's gonna finish in Europe, right? And she's like, I would cry if we finish in Europe.
I still will. I said on Alan's show, I said I would cry if we got Conference League. People think it's like some bummy, some weird bummy competition, and I'm like, just give me that stadium where the train runs through the track in the middle of the pitch. I want that. I want to go and see Joe Linton riding on that train while we're beating this team. So that's what I want. Give me that. I need that.
You know what? Big up Newcastle. Big up Kendall. Big up Dabs in the chat. He's saying, "Oh, I heard Manchester City at the weekend." Mad. What? You're in Manchester? Oh, okay.
I was in Manchester at the weekend, and I did actually go and see what sports washing looks like in real life. I did go to look at what a club with no ceiling looks like in real life, because we are just getting to that stage. So I just wanted to go and see it for myself. So I did go and see that. I did go and see Erling Haaland in the flesh. Actually, that's the second time this season I have done that, because we did, hold them 3-3 at St James's Park.
Are you scouting him for the Magpies?
Yeah, I'm absolutely scouting him. I'm scouting him right now.
Oh, god damn.
I'm scouting missions every day. I'm looking at everyone's team, and I'm like,
Hamza, enjoy him whilst you have him.
Who can we just take from you? Normally,
we're together, man. We're working together.
Scunthorpe United's midfielder. That's who we normally go for. But now it's we've got the best midfielder in the Premier League, so I'm happy with that. I'm here for it.
Do you know what it's like having Hamza and Kendall on the same stream? Do you know what it's like having them? Sorry,
did you hear
go on,
Hamza was saying, but we're working together. Oh,
listen, it's going to be a rivalry.
Listen,
do you know the only thing I
we
think
know
we'll work together?
Fight
in the Super League. We'll fight that together, Hamza. We'll fight it.
No,
Do you know
scared.
what it's like having both Hamza and Kendall?
He's sweating. He's sweating. I'm telling
Do you know what it's like having both Hamza and Kendall on the same stream together at this moment in time? Hamza was that person for so long because their team run well, Man City, with all the money, that they had the new flashy thing, new toy here, there, and everywhere. And Newcastle are these new people that come on the block with all this new flashy, make him feel so inadequate. It's unreal. Next season, the season after, you're going to be like, you'll be a Newcastle fan.
He's smiling right now. I'm telling you, that first bid for Haaland, this brother, he's crying. He's going to be there. He's going to say, take their money away right now. This is unfair.
You know what? If anyone could get Neymar in the Premier League, it's Chelsea and Newcastle.
Hey, brother, we are going to remain humble. We have Trossard from Brighton that we're looking at, and so Trossard, and we're coming for you, my friend. And free transfer ahead.
All right, let's get into the Newcastle game for a second.
We've already done it. Next game, we've moved.
No, hell no, we ain't done it. What the fuck?
We haven't done it, man.
That was just a slander.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hugo Lloris is finished. This guy today he looked done. Like, what kind of form is he going into the World Cup in? This guy plays like this.
He's been finished for a while, man. I remember doing a thing on
Right,
the terrace.
what are you coming for me for?
No. It's not about you. Listen, I just think
he's
Lloris has
goalkeeper's
been
performing. He
overrated
can, to be
Right,
fair.
Yeah, he's been overrated for a while, man. Like he's been a bit shaky for a good 2 or 3 years. I'm doing something on the terrace, and in the end, I ended up having to go with the Everton goalkeeper. But like Lloris, man, he's just.
Oh, you're talking about Lloris. I thought you were
that
talking
guy.
about Trent there being finished and shaky.
God
No,
damn.
I'm coming for you. Don't worry about it. Oh, God.
Battle of the 0 points here right today. I'm loving it. I'm
good
loving
night.
it.
Alan, what was he doing? What was
Okay.
he doing? What was
So-
he doing? Trying to chest the ball outside the box.
He
In
didn't
front of
chest.
us.
Actually, he didn't chest. He hit his knees, didn't it? So he's come out because. I mean, Romero's underperformed. I'll get into Romero. There's a comment that's come out about Romero. He's not exactly what was said, but the defense without Romero, Darwin Sanchez, catastrophe. I've said this. You can go back and see on previous streams. They get done by a long ball every single time. It's absolutely awful defending, schoolboy defending, and it's happened again. Hugo Lloris has done what he normally does, tries to come out and clean up our thing. He's got it completely wrong, and then for some reason, although there was an Arnold come across, he fell down way too easily. He didn't have to do that. And then it was an open goal. So his mistake, but also the defense led to that mistake because they just get caught ball watching every single time. And then number 2, he's cleared the ball out. His distribution's poor. Didn't get to the thing. But then although he's made a mistake in that thing, Sessegnon absolutely made a paper just falling down on the floor because Almiron just like, no, go away with one hand. And then Lenglet just, it was like, it was the invisible man. Like Almiron just goes past him. And it was another good finish. So there was mistakes. Hugo Lloris has a huge, blame to take there. But people saying he's finished when everyone was saying, "Oh, Lloris man of the match performance against Man United because if it weren't for him, it's going to be 7 or 8." See the polarization in people when they give their opinions on football. One week they're great, next week they're finished. No, good day. Well, although we lost 2-0, bad day. But he does more of that, which is why we're looking for a new keeper.
He's
Hopefully,
trending
the new
trending
keepers.
downwards, Alan. Though he's trending out.
Was that,
Downwards.
sorry?
I think he's trending downwards. I think he's been trending downwards.
He is.
for a few
He's nowhere near the
seasons.
same as what he was, but he's still not shot stopping. Like I say, shot stopping, great. Clangers he has, distribution is awful. It's one of them things. But we're using this time. This is last year of his contract, where we're looking for the next one to come in for longevity, to be with the club for years. So hopefully they get the right thing because it's a position we can improve on if we get the right quality keeper. But there was problems all over the pitch. Sanchez, awful. Lenglet, one of his worst performances. He's done all right since. Dyer, again, the back passing for giving out corners. He's touching and everything like that. I've always said, although he performed better, he's still not the level we need to progress. And it's showing now. The midfield, absolutely awful. Probably Bentancur was the best one. Skip did all right. Basuma, but we were overrun even with 3 in midfield. And Son and Kane, Son again, just taking every shot, not scoring, still well off of it. Kane did all right. But, yeah, there's loads of problems in that team. I don't know what's going on. People are already saying about Conte, getting out. For me, I think that's way too reactionary, although I wasn't pleased with him against Man United, his tactics. But, yeah, there's talk. All Spurs fans are now going, get Poch back because it looks like Poch is hanging around for a job. They believe that Conte won't sign a new contract. I think everyone's overreacting, but there's problems that need to be sorted, that's for sure.
Can we just say this? Since we've last seen Alan, he's taken 2 losses in a row in the league, and he's played terrible football versus Manchester United. The game, I didn't actually watch the 90 minutes. Newcastle played you off the park. Am I wrong, Kendall?
I would say first half, definitely. It probably should have been 3-0 first half, really. Second half, Spurs had about 20 minutes where they were pressing quite high. And Nick Pope had to save a couple, but like nothing that was like where it could have won the game or anything like that. But yeah, there was a little bit in the second half, probably from about the 65th minute, they were on top a little bit. But other than that, yeah, we played pretty well, I think.
Yeah, we weren't good again. But the thing is with Spurs is that you can play a press and all that's fine. But when you've got a press that's led by a 29 and 30-year-old, You need the midfield behind to be young, to be able to press up, but obviously have attacking intent to want to push up, because at the moment you've got 3 midfielders in there that all like to sit and be a bit deeper, and it's just leaving too much of a gap. So you have 2 people pressing and then no one else thereafter. We miss Kulusevski so fucking much. I'm not joking. I would just want it... just wrap him up in bandages and put him back on the pitch. You know, he's got to do better than some of that dribble that's on there at the moment. We need him back on that pitch because we struggle without him. It's as simple as that.
That is true. I was gonna go to Demi. Demi, did you have anything to say?
I'm not really sure, you know. I just look at Tottenham and I just think they're a slight mess. I think Conte's style of play right now is holding them back right now, but I do think long term he is the manager to take them forward. But I don't know if he's going to stick around for that long. But I don't know really, because Newcastle played really well today. They've lost 3 out of the last 5 for Tottenham. So I don't really know, to be fair. I don't know what's going on with you lot, but I don't think it's too much of a worry. I think in January, once the World Cup comes and you play the remaining games in December and then you do sign players in January, hopefully that can improve you a lot for the rest of the season. But I still back Tottenham to finish top 4, so I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, thanks, Sammy. Also, I'm not like Arsenal fans who believe a buzzword for 3 seasons and then finally get a result. I want results here and now. Just, you know, trust the process.
I think they make top 4. I think it'll be quite easy for them.
Our process is going better than your process. I'll tell you that right now.
It took you 3 seasons. And it's only in November.
Newcastle's process is looking better. Eddie Howe is looking like he's playing better football than you guys are playing.
Your process is looking better after 3 seasons. Come on, behave.
I said
3
right
seasons
now,
it took you to get here, and it's only October.
Bro, Antonio Conte's football doesn't get better over 3 seasons. He's gone by then.
I don't expect it to.
Let's be real.
Wait, I don't expect it to, but he wins stuff.
What else about Tottenham? Bro,
what else about
I will say this right now. Verbatim. I got a Tottenham fan who literally said this today on the timeline that I see. And this is like somebody who I've seen for a while, named Jordan. He said, Conte might as well walk tonight. We know he's getting job offers, and this club is an absolute graveyard for successful managers and players.
But the thing is, Conte's been given in the summer. Wasn't Conte given everything he wanted?
No, I think he wanted more players.
He wanted more players.
He started whinging like the first day of the window. He was like, "Oh, we can't compete because I'm just not getting the things that I want." I was like, "All right, chill out."
He said it yesterday. He said it before the Newcastle game. He basically said this team is nowhere near winning the league. You can't go from 10th to winning the league. But Chelsea went from 10th to winning the league.
Yeah, Chelsea had a Premier League winning squad.
He didn't have a better squad with Chelsea though. Like, let's be honest today.
Exactly.
Chelsea really won the league.
The thing. People just want to take their own narrative and twist it. That's
the way he said it, kind of.
Is he justified? But is he justified in saying it? What I'm saying is that I'm looking from the outside, right? I thought Spurs brought a lot of players in, and most of them to Conte's mould. And if he's been backed in that sense, and then he doesn't get the results, then is that Spurs' club's fault, or is that actually his fault? Because he's been given a lot of what he wanted, and he hasn't achieved. So I would say that's okay. You could talk about Spurs going back last 15 years. Maybe they haven't invested in the squad.
Is he gone?
I think we've lost him. Yeah.
We've lost it. But very quickly, yes, to that question, I have seen it. That's what Conte calls it, a process. So that's what he calls it. I don't call it process. I see a manager coming in, a world-class manager, to buy players and try and win stuff. So I don't see it as a process. We bought 6 players. He was given as much as he could. We wanted a player like Bastonia or a top centre. We couldn't get that, so we got Erling in as a make weight. So he didn't get exactly what he wanted in. The only one he said was a club signing was Spence, but that's why I'm keeping it consistent. I don't go, it's a process, we've got to trust it. That's why I said for the first time with Spurs, the board and have made it accessible for as many players, and we signed early rather than scrambling around last day of the season. That I now, for the first time, can't say, "Oh, you can blame me and you can leave it," because apart from one, they were all who Conte okay to come in. So you have to then perform on the pitch. So for me on this pitch this season, I hold Conte and the players responsible. That's what I've said, and I'll stick by it. It's not on the thing because they've had 6 players. And I know we've got injuries. I say we miss Kulusevski having back, but we're meant to build a squad to compete. And obviously we haven't built a squad to compete because we're having problems. That's no excuse. We've still got to do the job on the pitch. So there's no excuses there. Whereas other people might go, oh, we had an injury, so that's why we're not going to win. No, for me, you're meant to have built this squad. You've got to get results regardless, and we haven't got that.
And just to finish off on Tottenham, Hamza, do you have anything to add on the Tottenham game?
No, I think Newcastle were brilliant. Bruno Gomares was good. And Almiron, man. Almiron.
Prime Messi at the moment,
Thank
seriously.
you, Jack Grealish. Thank you very much, Jack Grealish. You lot want to be hoping. Rack wants to start hoping that Jack Grealish lands Salah shortly because look at Almiron. I don't know what's happening. Almiron only scored 9 goals in 3 seasons and he scored 6 this season alone. So what's happening? I literally don't know. I just think Jack Grealish just needs to start slandering Shaw Longstaff as well, and then we'll all be fine. Everything will be
I
great.
thought you guys were getting along. What's going on? What's happening?
No, we're getting along. We're getting
relationship. What's happening?
Kendo, it's attacking football because Almiron went from the MLS where he was the best player, MVP, won the league, and he came to a team that never played attacking football. And
yeah, 100%. Because even under Rafa, we didn't play attacking football either. So yeah, to be honest, you're spot on. It's took him 3 years. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, he's just one of like many who have improved now. Got a consistent run.
Wilson scored today.
Yeah, Callum Wilson did score again today. Gareth Southgate needs to be thinking about his options, to be honest, because Bamford ain't it right now. I can understand Tony, fair enough. Ollie Watkins ain't it right now. Danny Ings ain't it right now. So
he's only going to take one striker and he's never going to play.
Who else are you floating out? Obviously, Harry Kane's going. We know that Harry Kane's going. He's captain. He's going. But I don't know.
Rashford.
Yeah, I don't even have a negative to say about us, to be honest. I think we're just unbelievable crack. We're just lovely.
He's right, he's going to take Rashford.
I love it.
We're just unbelievable.
I actually like it. It's so nice hearing from a fan, that is so happy with their team. Do you understand? Every week I come on this show, every fan in some way, shape, or form.
You guys are always mourning.
Wait, this season,
this season now. She's come in here and giving nothing but compliments to her team, and we're out here like, why cancel football? Let's go international break. We hate football.
Apart from these last 2 games, I've come on there all up with chest and said about Spurs being really good. And these last 2
right now.
Look at the reactionary. Everyone on Twitter now like, oh, Conte out. I'm like, oh, you've lost 2 games. You're third in the league.
I'm not reactionary, but to answer Daps' question, about why is it not Conte out when obviously Mourinho was out? What he has to understand, the one above. So what he has to understand is it was a lot worse under Mourinho for a lot longer. It's only been 2 games, and then also it was toxic between Mourinho, the players, and the ball. That's why it went. To have somebody be bad for 2 games and ask for him to be sacked and all that, it's just reactionary. And anyone who thinks he should be sacked after 2 bad games just needs to go and get their heads tested. Seriously.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Liverpool game. Kendo.
Hey, can I just say one thing? Please. I didn't get to say a damn thing.
Go ahead, Mojo.
Look, he thinks I'm coming for him, Steve. No, I'm not doing that. First of all, Eddie Howe, Newcastle United, well freaking done. Because no one's going to sing your praises. Let's be honest, right? Everyone is going to try and paint this as something entirely different. This guy was without a job for a long-ass time. When you lot got bought out, literally, as soon as you guys hired him, everyone was like, wow, this is who they flipping hired? I don't know.
Guess what they were saying? Oh, they should have gone for Gerrard.
Exactly. Oh, what happened with that one?
That went unbelievable.
Anyways, look, it just lets you know, though, like literally when a club has a structure and when they find someone that is in line with their vision and you give them time, they're rewarded for the stuff. I think long term is definitely the best way to go for any club. And I'm going to link this directly to Antonio Conte. I've had this guy as a manager before, and I did not want him at my club. Then he won the Premier League title, and I was like, fuck. Well, I'm forced to basically now like him, and I have to get on with it. But after that, the second season for me, I saw what I needed to see. It's when a manager starts saying the words, we must be prepared to suffer. I'm telling you lot right now, if you're Spurs and you want your club long-term to be competing at the top, this guy, in my opinion, is the enemy of progress. And I only say that because he cares about now and he cares about his ego and he cares about getting stuff that he wants. And when he doesn't, he's like a kid, bro. He literally gets pissed off and he will let his team literally get beat in front of him and not do a damn thing about it. His lack of game management for me is very concerning. Today, I'll give him one little credit. The second half was much better than the first because the first half was embarrassing. It didn't even look like you guys were the home team. We fully forgot about that. That's how bad the situation was. And I don't think it's going to be pretty for Spurs fans. So I'm going to say nothing else. Right now, like Alan always likes to say, they're third in the table. It's only been 2 losses. We're going to get back. It's the Spursy way. We're going to do it again. But let's be frankly honest. I think this ship is going to sink. And they might as well start planning for the next manager. That's all I got.
No way, no way.
How dare you?
No. I'm just saying, bro. I got to be honest. I know you're gonna find the positive in it, but this guy needs to be called out, bro. I don't like him.
No, it's fair. Like I called him out for the Man United game because the way he set up, I'm sorry, was embarrassing. He pretty much put a back 8 in front of Lloris in the 18-yard box and defended. So I called him out when he needed to be called out. This game, with what we had on the pitch, I'm sorry, he's held accountable for a little bit, but it was mainly on the players today who didn't show, who didn't perform, who played like shit. So yeah, it's just one of them things. It's on the players this game. It was on the manager last game. People are just going after Conte and waxing over like certain players that have performed poorly. I'm sorry, you've got to hold people to account when it's their turn. So yeah, for me, players were awful today. On Wednesday, it was the managers.
Hey, trust me, I used to blame the players with this guy a lot too, man. I get it.
More is very funny. More is very funny. I just can't wait whenever they play Newcastle because you struggled against Brentford. I'm telling you, Newcastle gave us a hell of a
We're not at
run
Chelsea yet,
for
by
our
the way. I
money.
just want to let you know, Hamza.
It's the last game at home before the World Cup, isn't it, Chelsea, I think?
Oh,
I
brilliant.
believe, we do play each other.
And we play them also.
And it's away to Newcastle, so that's
Good
even
luck.
more.
And you're playing them away.
It's a long journey. I can't lie. I just think about the journey. It's long, bro.
Newcastle are easily finishing in a European spot. Now let's move on to the team that we're not sure if they're going to finish in a European spot, which is Liverpool. Rack, how you feeling?
Damn! Wow! Okay,
hello,
Rack coming at me.
The gal just went straight in. He was just like, no.
Talk to us, Rack. Talk to us.
Look,
Kendo, if you want to stay, you can stay.
I'll chill.
No,
because you're going to be part of the party soon.
Go on, Rack.
She'll let us know when we're being miserable people in it. She'll let us know. I think it's a refreshing thing.
You can do it. You can do it, Rack.
Look, we're just looking like the shadow of man made a full screen, man.
Why are you doing this to him, bro? Don't put him this like that.
Okay, this better? Okay. Go ahead, Rack.
This is incredible. Let him talk.
We're playing like a shadow of our former selves, man. Like we're still capable of excellence, as we saw last weekend. But it's just not. This is not the same team, man. It's not the same team, and it's worrying. It's seriously worrying. I'm looking at whether we can get through to the post World Cup and maybe make some additions, perhaps that rejuvenate the squad a little bit. Maybe people are talking about tiredness. I don't know whether that's a factor or not. But regardless of the fact that everybody can see it on the pitch, we're just not the same. But at the same time, we're capable of that level of play because City are probably the best team in Europe right now, right? And we gave them, even if, regardless of what you think about last week's game, we matched them. We went toe for toe across the 90 minutes. But this against the bottom teams, to Forest, did we really deserve anything from the game? Probably not really, right? Forest, it wasn't an undeserved win by Forest, and this is why so many Liverpool fans are concerned. Some people will talk about signings; they've got a point. People will talk about other things; they have a point. But the extent of the drop off is very, very worrying and is inexplicable, in my opinion. It's not just about not signing a midfielder in the summer. Something else is causing these players to perform way, way, way below the level they should be performing at.
Well, I was going to just ask the people in the comment section, where do you think Liverpool will finish? Top 4, top 6, potentially Conference League, or even lower than that? And Rack, at this moment,
to be honest, I still think we'll finish in the top 4. I can't. I know.
In place of who?
That's fucking hell. You could have let him finish his sentence, bro.
No,
listen, hell, Alan.
Bro, that's the best joke I've heard.
Listen, but the thing is, the quality of the squad we have, I have to believe that we can get top 4. We are, if we play to our potential, amongst the top 4 teams in the league. The question is, what is going to take to turn that on, or is that gone forever and we're just going to see it in sporadic, games here and there? If it's the latter, yeah, we're not going to make top 4.
Yeah, you know what, people in the chat, there's a poll right now. Go vote in the poll. People are right now. The poll is between top 6 and top 7, and I don't even know if top 7's a thing. But then you got what do you call it? We got 50 people in the chat right now. Do me a favor, hit that like button. It's absolutely free. We only got 33 likes. You can do much better than that. But yeah, guys, let me know, what do you guys think about the Liverpool loss? Because for me, this team is who we think they are now. They're inconsistent. We can't trust them, and even against.
But again, was this team who you thought you were last weekend?
No, it's not that. The inconsistency is a part of it.
So it's capable of a much higher level.
I predicted this.
But my point of what the team is what we think it is, in the sense that they're inconsistent. One week they will show that they're levels above what they are, and in another week they'll show what they did against Nottingham Forest, where it's like some of your most senior players in Van Dijk, Fabinho, and Salah not guiding you guys through these games, and you're looking at the younger players, and you're like they're not producing anything that you wouldn't expect from them in the first place.
I mean, even midweek, we won the game midweek, and obviously a lot.
I guess West Ham
happy about but it wasn't a great performance. Like it was an average performance. West Ham probably would have been justified in getting a draw, or I can understand why West Ham fans will think they deserve a draw at the very least. So
Milner cleared. Do you remember Milner? What's
that? Can't be a correct
Milner
stat.
blocked it.
Wait, go back up. Is that a correct stat?
What's that?
Salah 4 passes in 90 minutes against Nottingham Forest.
4 completed passes. I think
it is. I think Liverpool. Yeah, I think Liverpool, when they beat City last weekend, I was disappointed because they had only 37% possession. We had 63. We dominated them. They got that one lucky goal, and everyone thought Liverpool back. And I said, listen, this season,
come on. Did City deserve to win?
Did
City deserve to win?
No, because didn't screw up the way he did.
Hamza, did City deserve to win? Hamza, did City deserve to win?
We deserve. I think 100%.
Because
I think we deserve to win.
What?
But the thing is about Liverpool.
Lying, bro. You lot played bad.
We dominated the game, but I think we just took them lightly.
Having
what happened
possession
last
is
week?
what we're talking about.
This was a basketball game, bro.
Yeah, no.
Literally,
last
you didn't
weekend
do
we
shit,
went to their
bro.
ground, but we went to their ground. We had 63% possession. We dominated that game, but we didn't
Because
take our
that was
chances.
their game plan.
And one of the main things that, if you look at Liverpool this season, look, Alisson's having a wonderful season. He's playing like De Gea prime. Yeah. Then you got Trent. He's playing like Danny Simpson. You got Tom Huddleston in midfield. That's Fabinho. Then you got Shamak. This guy's playing like Shamak. Mohamed Salah this against Nottingham Forest. 4 touches or 4 passes in the second half. Cole Palmer came in for 10 minutes, had like 25 passes. That's shameful for a player. That's 400,000 a week. And then you got a guy, Nunes, who plays like Nicholas Bednar, who's people rating him so highly.
He didn't even play.
Shambles. They are shambles completely. And your manager has to take the blame. The blame.
Yeah, of course. Listen, this is down to the manager. Everyone needs to take the blame to some extent, right? It's definitely down to the manager. It's definitely down to the players. And there's ultimately in football, when you win, you get plaudits, and when you lose, you have to take the criticism. And Klopp deserves criticism as well. And I agree.
For me, with Liverpool, I think they've now got a team that can't play the style that Klopp wants to play anymore. High intensity on the front foot, high press and all that. I think the team's getting older as in age have got older, and I think Egal said, the youngsters behind them aren't actually at that level. So I think you've got the disjoint in the team that you've got. Obviously, losing Mane was, obviously a big loss, and you didn't really replace him. Nunes is different type of player to what Mane was. So I just think it's going to be one of them seasons where I think you are literally at the beginning of a rebuild. I don't know if you're going to get anyone in January. I don't know if Klopp will be the one to sort out this rebuild. I don't know, because he's going to play the same way, and if you can't get the players in to match that, I mean, your squad, what's the average age of your squad now? 30? 29, 30?
Yeah, 30.
I mean, I don't know.
Average age is high intensity.
Average age is a very misleading thing, man, because look, you need to look at average age of the players that are actually playing the vast majority of the minutes, and it's nowhere near as bad. And then
Milner, retirement home, Henderson, get in there.
Sure, but Milner.
I'm just saying, it's if you had the team that you had at the beginning with things like obviously 2 or 3 seasons ago playing this type of football, you'd be up with Man City again. I just think you've got a team that can't. And yeah, there's Daniel's put in the bottom there. You'll be blaming the grass for the rest of the season, which is, I don't know. Might blame there. You know, I don't know what the next excuse is going to be for Klopp. It's just going to be more this season. We'll have to wait.
Have you seen this one? It's
this guy's fault.
Stop it! Get that guy off! Oh my God, Kendall, stop it!
It's his fault. It's his fault. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think everyone here could say something about Liverpool, but I feel like if you could sum up Liverpool's season so far in one word, what would it be? Would you say it's injuries, or would you just say it's
shit?
Oh wow!
I say Wijnaldum. Tell you why? Because you didn't replace Wijnaldum. You just let him go, and then started getting in Thiago and whoever else, and Jota and whoever else, and there was just no one to replace Ginny. And I thought, oh, that's a bit strange. And then Milner's not very good, and Henderson's not very good now. Even though, to be fair, I've always actually backed Henderson, despite the fact that he's a Sunderland, like from Sunderland. I've always actually backed him because I think he's a decent bloke. But he's just dropped off. Now Klopp hasn't changed his system at all, and now the weaknesses are so much more exposed than they were before. Trent is looking weaker because of that. Van Dijk's not up to scratch, so the back line, like Joe Gomez, is now like the best defender. It's just like everything is just a mix. But Klopp does this all the time. He has about 5 or 6 good years at a club, like a good run of years, and then he just drops off, like significantly drops off. So I would
say refresh, because they need to refresh that squad. Just pieces here and there, not the whole squad, but in that game they had Gomez playing, who they were scapegoating. They had Harvey Elliott playing, who's still very young. They had Caballo, who's playing still very young. Curtis Jones, still very young. And you look at those guys, they weren't the guys that were causing the issues. It was the main guys that weren't leading them through the game. And it was just like, what are you going to do at that point?
Rack, at least you know now what Egal felt last season when they lost 1-0 at Nottingham Forest as well. You know how it feels. I mean, I don't know what it is like to lose at Nottingham Forest, because I won there this season. So
Alan, you're gonna have to face them, bro. So like, I just wouldn't speak so soon right now.
We've already faced them. We beat them
again.
Next. We'll beat them again at home. Next.
All right, cool. Hey, he's final word. He's final word.
Yeah. I've got to come back with fire because my team's lost 200 pounds.
I'm too nice because I don't clip up people when they say stuff like this. I need to start doing that. But yo, Hamza, you're gonna say something before we move on to the Chelsea.
I'll say one word. I think one word, either Butlers or I'll say Mane. And I think Mane is a big reason that they've lost Mane, and they didn't appreciate Mane, Liverpool fans. And now they've made this Mo Salah being a king, and he's a fake king, the Egyptian king. And this guy is and they even complained about Ballon d'Or coming 5th. Yeah, so
someone very cheekily called him the Senegalese Werner earlier.
Wow.
And I was like, that's actually extremely rude, because not seeing, Egyptian king doing much this season. Are you? Because I think you'd rather have the Senegalese Werner in there than the Egyptian king, or whatever you want to call him. So I think that's actually quite rude. That's actually very extremely rude. And I'm a big Manis Potter. Like, honestly, like, he was probably one of my favourite players outside of my team. And I'm such a big fan. That's actually very cheeky. I thought, you need to look closer at home, actually. You need to look at Darwin Noodles and that. You need, like, that's actually very cheeky.
People say Liverpool fans or Liverpool don't appreciate Mane. They really don't understand what they're talking about. Mane is a Liverpool legend. He will always be a Liverpool legend. He was well appreciated at the club. Ultimately, he wanted to go to Bayern Munich, which is fair enough. Ultimately, I think if players want, and Hamza, you know this as well, right? If players want to leave your club and they want to go somewhere else, sometimes you need to facilitate that. And Mane he'd done everything he could at the club. The first half of last season and the whole of the season before, he wasn't great. In the second half of last season, when he started playing as more of in the forward line, and Diaz came in and was playing wide left, he was back. He was back, and he was making a great contribution. But he decided he wanted to go to Bayern Munich, and I think that's fair enough.
You know, like
Sometimes
Mane's
players
done a
in
Fergie,
different
and he's seen like the decline, and he's thought, "Oh, I better get out of here before it
Yeah.
starts going wrong." I'm gonna do it.
Could be. He might be the smart one.
There you go.
To any Nottingham Forest fans that are watching, well done, man. You deserve the win as well. You lot worked hard as a team. You deserved it. Like, let's just say it as it is as well, innit?
Yeah, and you're Rack. I know you had to go, so
Yeah,
now that we've done the Liverpool portion, you have yourself a wonderful day. And
Take easy,
are you
people.
confident against Ajax?
Why are you doing this thing, bro? Can you not let him
I'm-
leave in peace?
I'm confident we'll get through to the next round of the Champions League. I don't know whether that's going to involve beating Ajax or getting a draw or whatever, but I think we'll get through.
Okay, enough said. Big
Come
up.
up Ajax and all that.
Big up,
Big up,
man.
Big up, Rack. So now Liverpool have been replaced in the top 6 with Newcastle.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
new season next year, everyone. Hello, Vibes from the Six, Newcastle United.
There you go. There you go.
Who would have saw
let's-
that coming though? Liverpool is the one that got replaced. Like, who would have saw that?
Bigs.
Nah, you would have never guessed that. You would have thought it would be Arsenal and Tottenham, right? But yeah, let's go to Dami. Dami, what are you saying?
I'm doing good, bro. What are you saying, Butchie?
Talk to me about your team getting a draw. And would you say Chelsea bottled it? What would you say?
I don't bottled it in the last 6 minutes, maybe, but I can't lie to you, it was a mid-off. Just two rubbish teams just playing rubbish football for the whole game. Couldn't believe what we actually deserved to win, though. I can't lie to you. We deserved to win. We dominated the first half. We had 2 clear-cut chances that we missed, and then we let them back into it. And then from then on, I can't believe McTominay gave away that penalty. That's so late in the game, and I can't believe that they let us score. It's 6 minutes later. It was unbelievable. Some players that need to be put on the spotlight are Jadon Sancho. A guy is the biggest fraud I've ever seen that's been signed in years. His head is
What? Scamcho?
Scamcho, yeah, because his head is in
Scamcho.
his head is in Kennington, but he's physically in Manchester. He's terrible. He can't pass the ball correctly, so I think he needs to go. I think, do you know what? Apart from that, they all played pretty well. I can't lie to you. I thought they were all good. Casemiro shocked me because you know me, you know that I have an agenda against him. I think he's a fraud. But he's showing that the reason why he was at Real Madrid for so long is because he's good on possession. He's good at dispossessing the ball. So overall, I thought it was a decent performance. I think we should have won. But it is what it is. 4 points out of 6 against Tottenham and Chelsea is a good result for one week. So I'll take it and we move on.
There you go. First things first. People in the chat, the question of the day, is Jadon Sancho a flop? Yes or no?
He's a flop. He's a flop and a fraud.
What?
He's a flop and a fraud. Bro, I'm sick and tired of him just doing nothing on the field. Every single game, just doing nothing, just vibes him, dancing with the ball and doing absolutely nothing. Like, Elanga will do more than him. Like, Anthony does more than him. Rashford does more than him. If you put Bruyne up front, he'll do more than him. You could literally put Fred left wing and he'd do more than him. That's how bad Sancho is. So it's a bit annoying to see, but he ain't going to the World Cup. So hopefully he uses their time off to do some shuttle runs, but he's not going. He's just going to be sipping Magnums. I'm sick of the guy, but it is what it is.
Wow. Last time they won against United, Chelsea won against United was in 2017. Laugh my ass off. Chelsea's record against United is that bad.
They either draw or we win.
At Stamford Bridge, 100%, bro. It's been dead.
Bro,
Been dead, bro.
everyone comes to Stamford Bridge and gets points nowadays. Southampton, freaking Arsenal, freaking Man City, Tottenham.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be sat here saying like, oh, those games United always deserve to win, because there were games they won or drew, but they didn't deserve it. And sometimes that's football for you, like shit happens. This game for me, first half, second half, literally both teams better than each other in each one of those halves. And I genuinely felt like it was a game that fairly would have been a draw. Like, literally, if we did not score, I don't think Man United scored a late goal, because they tried only harder because they felt like unfairly done in that moment and they wanted to actually get a point from the game, for a game where I felt like at least they deserved the point. And other than that, there's nothing really to report, man. Like, both teams, I felt like had bright sparks. And our manager, I think, just made a mistake in our formations from the formation side. Setting up with 2 in midfield was the wrong way to go. We couldn't play out. We couldn't do what we usually would do. And then, once we made the change, I felt like we were far more comfortable in actually playing Man United. But generally speaking, injuries are effing up again our season. So I'm like, I'm not going to be sat here excusing it. I'm like, we could have seen this coming from afar. And Kante's gone for 4 months. Fofana it's not here. The guy we've just paid God knows how much money for. Reece James signs a new contract, is out for 2 months. It's not fun, man. What can I say, man? I'm at the point now where I'm just like, let the January window get here as soon as possible because we need to address some of these problems, man. Otherwise, it's gonna be a difficult season, man.
Just to let everyone know, big up to everyone who's just joined us all the way from what do you call it? My guy Monty's channel. Big up to you guys coming all the way from Big Six Bands. We got a bunch of you guys joining us right now. We're talking about the Chelsea United game. We're talking about that game, and you just missed it. If you're wondering why we're saying this central flop, is because my guy Dammy just called him a fraud.
Mm.
But, yeah,
He called him Scamcho. Let's call it what he said.
He said Scamcho.
called it
Don't
Scamcho.
forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you guys are here. We got a bunch of you guys in the chat. My man like Alan tried to warn you, bro. Spurs are dead out here. Okay, you missed it.
This guy, this Arsenal fan right here, this bum of Arsenal fan, he's my guy, but I'm not having any of that. Get out.
Anyways, let's bring it back to the United game.
funny,
I'm not gonna lie, I agree. I felt like this game, everyone here predicted a draw. Everyone here, easy money. Just predict a draw. Chelsea, Man United at Stamford Bridge, it's always a draw. But where I was shocked was, bro, what happened to Chelsea's midfield? Your midfield is just like so poor nowadays. I'm looking at it. I'm saying to myself, Kovacic comes on. He changed the game for a positive. But besides Kovacic, what else do you really have going?
Brother,
Graham
we're playing
Potter.
with Jorginho
They have
and
nothing.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who we basically said we can play you at right wing back or we can play you in midfield when we have no other options. Like literally, we're doing with what we have. It's literally an area of our pitch that honestly has been getting neglected for God knows how many years now. It needs reinforcements. It's very clear to see. We have a lot of injury-prone players. Kovacic comes on and he's playing through a knee injury. I'm like, we're going to run him to the ground, just like we did with N'Golo Kante. And if this carries on, it's complete negligence on our part for years. So I'm bored of it. I'm tired of it. I'm like, just go get the right players, identify the right profiles, number one, and go get them signed up because it's very clear to see that's an area of the pitch that is causing us a lot of problems and is causing a lot of issues with also how we want to play. That's the biggest impact for me.
Moja, are you like confident that your board is going to go and get the right players though to move you forward? Because I think it's been like a little bit of an issue for a few years now, hasn't it? Like not getting the right profiles. Like obviously everyone's going to bring up Lukaku, but do you think that are you confident that they're going to bring in the right profiles to fit? Graham
If you
Potter,
said
I
to me
guess?
the last board, if it was the last board and the last owner, I would have said to you, hell no. I'm gonna pray for the best and hope for the best. With these lot that are here, I do generally feel like they're not rushing the process too damn much, and there is a lot of process going on behind the scenes in terms of creating a structure that actually aligns together and is going towards a certain style of play. And we've signed the manager for 5 years, which I think we're going to try and stick with. I'd like to think long term is what we're going with. I've been calling out for this since God knows how long at this point, probably like 2015. I've been saying, please, can we just approach a long term plan and stick to it? And we will have hard times, but it'll reap the benefits because that's what started off our early start with Roman. It's literally what he did. The business that he did very early on is what allowed the team to last through all that time. The problem, however, is when you're rushing stuff, you end up with players like Zakaria, who's just sat on the bench. Like, bruh, like we're not going to use him. Literally, he's there as an option for us to use in midfield. He's not getting any minutes. So I'm like, why did we sign him? What was the actual point? And it's unfortunate that it was the former manager that signed him. And by the sounds of it, he was the one that wanted him. So that already put us in a bit of a predicament because we as the fans are the ones that have to pay with this inconsistent football that we get because you generally don't know what version of Chelsea is going to show up. It's literally pick a card from a deck and literally hope for the best that you get the good one. That's about it.
You know what? I'm just gonna say there's people in the chat. Hit that like button right now.
Yeah.
We got about 68 of you guys in the chat. And we only got 48 likes. You can do much better than that.
Disgusting.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go to Hamza. Hamza,
Yeah.
I know you probably had a lot of smoke for these guys before the game, but after they got the draw, who'd you smoke? I'm confused. Who'd you actually
Listen,
get at?
He's smoking both, bro.
I was supporting Chelsea. I hate United. But I've always told Dami about Sanchez a fraud, that guy, because he left City. So I've never liked him since then. I've never liked him, man. And I'm so happy that you're seeing what I'm seeing. I told you he's not. There's a reason why Southgate did not take him at the Euros. I was
got
telling
lucky.
them, I was
got
telling them, there's a reason why Southgate's not picking him. There's a reason he doesn't play. There's something that Southgate has seen, and people are like, no, it's just Southgate. As soon as he started last season, he was poor. This season, he's shockingly poor, and you have to drop him. Coming for Chelsea, these fraud guys that always talk about they beat us in the Champions League, this team, Chelsea FC. Listen, Mo's the only guy that's backing Graham Potter. Yeah? Most Chelsea fans I'm speaking to, they've had enough of this guy already. Some of the Chelsea fans are already talking about Potter out because they don't believe in this guy. They don't believe in him. Because how can you go on a formation, bro, 5 at the back against Man United with no Kovacic, no midfield of Jorginho and thing? You told me as a manager, if I'm a manager, I know straight away that's not the right start. So I think that Chelsea have got a lot to do. Even I blame them, the owner, Todd Bowley. I think Todd Bowley is not... Listen, how can you be an owner wanting to negotiate deals? Where the football guys, they negotiate deals. Our owners don't negotiate deals. Kendall's owners do not negotiate deals. You have to have people in place that negotiate deals. So
Which is
I
what
should
we're
be
trying to
critical
sort
that
out. I'm confused. Which is what we're trying to sort out, Hamza. I'm
but you should
confused.
have left them. You've just kicked out everyone, and Todd Bowley took that initiative of saying, I'm going to sort everything out.
Because they don't
I think you're
align.
being a bit
These
harsh
people
on,
don't align with him. Yeah.
I think
Go
you're
ahead,
being a bit
sorry.
harsh on because Conte played a back 8 against Man United, so he didn't do as bad as him. For the game, let's be honest, Man United played better first half. I think Chelsea came back into it in the second half. Tom, I'm happy the ref picked that as a penalty because that was a penalty. Weren't even looking at the ball, all over him, put him to the floor, hands all over him. It's definitely a penalty. I think refs should do that more. I think a lot of that still you get away with it. It will stop that altogether. So yeah, Jorginho, I hate the way he takes penalties, but yeah.
Alan, you literally are contradicting yourself because earlier you said that the one on Jesus was not a penalty, even though he has his hands up.
No. Like I said, I've
They're
seen
not
that
the same,
live
bro.
rather
They were
than
not the same. Come on.
They were not the same, exactly. At the corner, McTominay is all over him, not even looking at the ball, hands on him, around him, pulling him back. That was not the same. So it's not contradicting. It's two. You watch it in full time. Look at that. So look, you know, Egal, you're trying to be so shameless. That was funny. I hate the way Jorginho, as I was saying, I hate the way Jorginho takes penalties, but it's efficient. It is effective because he tends to score quite a few of them, doesn't he? But the thing is that Chelsea have a bit of a weak spot in the fact that you do concede late goals. You did it against us. You've done it against United. I think people are going in too hard on Potter to begin with. I think given the time and get your style of play across with some extra players he's going to bring in, I think he'll do wonders for Chelsea. I really do. I think they've got a great manager who's only going to get better. He's just obviously some managers struggle on the bigger stage. I think he won't. I think he just needs a bit of time. To try and win him out after about 8 to 10 games is just ridiculous from Chelsea fans. If that's what they're really saying, it's embarrassing. But yeah, no, he'll do fine at Chelsea. They'll get top 4. It's fine.
Kendo, big up on top 4, says Monty. And also he says smash the like button, people. Smash the like button.
Hey, Monty, don't give up, bro. Don't give up.
Sounds nice that again. Do you want to replay that again? It sounded quite nice that actually. Just practicing for next few years.
God, look at the smile on that. Look at the smugness coming through already. Look at that.
Listen, I'm allowed.
It's a breath of fresh air. I love it. But yo, Dammy, before you gotta go, let me ask you this, right? Watching that performance for Manchester United, did you feel like there's like if you guys if it were, how do I put this? If you guys had Cristiano Ronaldo or Marcelo, someone in the chat just said they would
Ronaldo
that Anthony and Rashford had. Do you feel like that's what you're missing, the killer?
Yes, but not Ronaldo. Anyone but Cristiano Ronaldo, and I agree to that statement. Just forget Ronaldo, forget that he exists, get rid of him, and let's start over. But yeah, if we had Marshall, we'd win the game. I do agree with that.
Yo, Monty's saying Jesus versus Firmino, by the way. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we're both winning, okay? Because right now, when we're both losing, it looks silly to discuss our strikers realistically. My striker didn't score. Did Bobby Firmino score on the weekend? I think he did.
No, he didn't.
No, they lost 1-0, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they have the same amount of goals, by the way.
I know they do. But yeah, It is what it is. Now people,
Wait,
people in my fan base
Jesus
are
has not
blaming
scored for how long now?
I
3
swear it's like
games.
6 games.
3 games, but he got an assist the game prior to that.
No, we're not going to.
Congratulations, striker with an assist. Congratulations. That's where it's at.
He's the reason why you're not blowing teams away. You do know that.
Listen, we'll talk about Jesus when we're talking about him. Right now, we're talking about your team not being
Right
capable.
now, they're not ready for the conversation. We'll bring it up at a later point in it. It's fine.
Big up Rums in the house also, man.
Rums.
Look, all the Liverpool fans coming out of nowhere. Now that we're not talking about Liverpool, it's crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But yo,
man.
Chelsea did not look like they were going to score unless that penalty came. I don't know about you guys. Did you feel like Chelsea were ever going to score if it wasn't for that penalty?
No. I think
Nah.
it was going to finish 0-0. I can't lie to you. Until the penalty came, it was going to finish 0-0. Like I said as well. Once they scored, that's when we had to react. Had to go for the equaliser. But other than that, it was a boring game. 0-0 written all over it. I did predict, I think 1-1 or 2-2, wasn't it, in my prediction on Friday?
Two teams that at times look really good and at times look average.
Yeah, average. Yeah.
You both are very like up and down in your performance.
I need Chelsea to grow a pair of balls when they play Arsenal. I cannot have you lot smashing them. I need Arsenal to at least leave 2 more games.
We're gonna play our game. I'm not worried about Chelsea. Away from home at Chelsea lately, it's been a good hunting ground for us. Hopefully, we can continue to keep the good form going over there.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But yeah, let's just move on. Before we move on, Hamza, do you have anything to say? Hamza already spoke on that. Kendall already spoke on that. Alan, did you say anything on the game?
I did, yeah.
Okay, bless. So now let's
you
go
at me for contradicting myself about the penalty, which I didn't contradict myself.
Now let's go on to the cyborg himself, Haaland. This guy, anybody who takes him out their fantasy team, you're an absolute imbecile. Like, don't captain Mo Salah, don't captain anybody else. Just because he has 1 week off, people took him out of their team. What does he do? He repays them by getting a brace, and he almost got a hat trick, if I'm not mistaken. This guy is ridiculous. He's on another level. And Kevin De Bruyne's goal, amazing. I took Madison out of my team to bring Foden back in, and that was a mistake. But hey, we'll talk about that later another time. But right now, Hamza, how you feeling, bro, about your cyborg? And Dami, thank you for coming on, bro. Dami's got to go.
Big up,
Yeah,
Dami. Take care, man.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm enjoying life, Haaland, I've told you before we got him, I told you this guy is a special talent. We're very lucky to have him in the Premier League. He's absolutely impressive. He just thinks about scoring goals. Everyone talks about his touch, his dribbling. He doesn't care about dribbling. It's all about scoring goals. If you look at him, absolutely, he's enthusiastic. He's got the desire. And you can see from him as a player, he wants to score 1, 2, 3. When he wants to come, he doesn't want to come off. But Pep has to save him. Absolutely the best striker in the world. No doubt about it. Not Karim Benzema, not Kylian Mbappe. Those guys, man. Kylian Mbappe can't even score 3 goals against Ajaccio. And this guy's scoring 3 goals. Hat-tricks every game in the Premier League, the best league in the world. And people comparing him to Mbappe. If you care about vibes, take Mbappe. If you talk about football, it's Haaland. Haaland is a special. And against Brighton, he played absolutely amazing. But Brighton, credit to Brighton. First game of the season that this guy bopped us in the park. I was even scared. We were 2-1 up, and I thought they might equalize. And watch out for Lisandro Trossard, as you said, Mo. He's available on a free. He was absolutely impressive for me. I think, would City go for him? I don't mind going for a player like that, but I thought, like Kendall, watch out for Lisandro Trossard. If you link for a right winger, brilliant player. Absolutely brilliant.
They're trying to sign Mbappe, bro. Why are you giving them Trossard? What's going on? Like, Newcastle got high aim team, bro.
Listen, Newcastle love hardworking players, man. Newcastle come from they love hardworking players.
All I'm saying is,
I've got Dan Ashworth as well. Dan Ashworth's our sporting director now, so he's gonna sprinkle a little bit of magic on Trossard and say,
McAllister from midfield, brilliant midfielder. So I think this weekend for Brighton, it was a tough weekend, but absolutely we got the 3 points. And De Bruyne, there's a reason why he's got Ballon d'Or number 3. I think if we win that Champions League, if Real Madrid don't park the bus and we beat them, we've won that Champions League. And De Bruyne is the best player in the world by far. But
wait, you think you beat Liverpool in the Champions League? They just beat you.
Easy.
De Bruyne's the best player in the world by far, was that?
De Bruyne should be
Basically, if Man City got the chance to rewrite history, De Bruyne is the
Absolutely.
best player because
Do you
they
think
would have won
he
every
had a
game.
poor game yesterday though, Hamza, before the goal? Because I did.
He
Because
did.
obviously I was there, so I thought he had a pretty poor.
He did.
The first
He
half he
did.
was very poor yesterday.
He did, but you know, in games like this, the Champions League final against most teams, I've always said it. Great players, they need that one moment, just one little moment, and that's why you can't. When people say, "Why did you lose the Champions League final?" I always say De Bruyne, because if he stays on the pitch 90 minutes, then I can judge. Against Real Madrid, he got taken off at 70th minute. We were smashing Real Madrid. I'm not scared of Real Madrid. They're nothing to me. And I went to Bernabeu. I had 57% possession. I'm not disrespecting Real Madrid, but De Bruyne was running that game with Modric, and I think he will retire as the greatest midfielder ever in the Premier League history.
Who? Kevin De Bruyne is going to
Bruyne.
finish his career
Easy.
as the best Premier League midfielder all time.
Oh, of all time, easy.
Wow.
I put him on the category of Xavi, Iniesta, Modric, Zidane. He's just so amazing, man. I've not seen a midfielder in the Premier League as good as this guy in my
I'm
life.
not going to lie.
I
Oh,
think
very
Premier League
in
legend would
order
be
for
fair
him
to
to
say,
be
bro.
put in that category, 1 second. In order for him to be put in that category, people, does he need to win the Champions League or not the Champions League or the World Cup?
The World Cup is unfair, man. He's got people like Onana playing with him. Onana from Everton. Come on, man.
He's doing bits for Everton. Don't cast Onana right now.
Onana's one of the best young DMs in the league.
No.
So hold on. Trophies matter when it suits and benefits other players because they can't win certain trophies. I don't like this. It's literally Hamza in football wars. Many times you said, "But what trophies have they won?" Oh, you can only do that, and then it doesn't matter because they're with certain other players.
Hypocrisy.
No, he's going to win Champions League.
Be consistent, Hamza. Be consistent.
He could be put in the same conversation as these guys once he's accomplished things. You know what? Honestly, I'll say this to you guys: the Premier League all-time 11 is nowhere near La Liga's all-time 11. So to try to put him next in the same breath as Zidane and Xavi and Iniesta and stuff, you're basically saying he's in the all-time 11 for Premier League.
He's not even won a Champions League, mate.
You're saying he's good enough to be.
I like the guy, but he's not there.
You got guys like Lampard.
Yeah, Lampard's not in it.
Also, can I just say there is a comment there from I can't. Apologies if I butcher your name. That's it. Belgium were ranked first for 4 years and didn't win nothing.
I tell you what.
Yeah, but FIFA rankings are a bit sus. Like
they had
based on like average.
The best team. Let's be honest.
They had supposedly the best, one of the best midfielders in the entire world. A legend of the game. A legend of the game, guys.
1 second. And they had the next closest thing to Messi and Ronaldo, Eden Hazard, apparently.
Okay, yeah. I'm telling you, I'll answer that question in one word, and it's linked to someone here. It's someone here in the space. Yeah. And he's here in the space. No. And it's linked to Alan's boys, Van Togen. When you got Spurs players in you, it doesn't matter.
Like Alderweireld and that.
Van Togen and Alderweireld.
Shameless guy. You're a shameless guy.
Were they not those guys?
Were they the whole club for it, you know?
Wait. Can I just ask those guys? Were they not part of the team that knocked out the Champions League?
By the way,
no, it's just the curse. It's just a curse from Tottenham. They're linked. They've got it.
They knocked out the Champions League.
That's also why England didn't win, by the way.
They knocked out the Champions League, Hamza.
He's going to get the Champions League.
I'm not going to lie, though. Like, Hamza, like, I rate Kevin De Bruyne really highly. I'm not going to be here some biased guy, right? But I will say this. If you want him to be named amongst those players that you mentioned, the Champions League and World Cup will be held against his head, bro. And I'm telling you, but people will hold it against his head, bro. They will look at the teams that he played in and they will say that team was good enough to be competing at the top levels. So was Man City, bro. So they will say
Patrick Vieira.
That's what the history book will look at, bro.
Look at Patrick Vieira.
Yeah,
he did. He won the World Cup, but the Champions League he wasn't there.
Yeah,
and in the World Cup he was sitting on the bench.
Yeah, but that's because of Arsenal. There's nothing else to say in that one.
I'm just saying that he's that level of Clarence Seedorf, the Vieira, the Zidane. These guys can change games. There's just
Bro, some of the people you're
impressive.
mentioning have won
And-
multiple Champions Leagues. Like he
And
can't. He
and
simply
for my-
cannot be there, bro. That's
and-
why I
and-
can't even say it.
no, but more. But
Bro,
even
I've got Frank Lampard, who's won a Champions League, and I don't dare to mention his name amongst those guys and say like
but
he's better or
Lampard's
he's
not the
on
same
that
level.
level.
Lampard,
No, but Lampard is better than De Bruyne in regards to what's been won.
It's not.
What's been won in accolades. You can't even argue it, bro.
Exactly.
To
It's
what's
not.
been won, you can't argue it.
Kevin De
There's no
Bruyne.
argument.
Yes,
The
Hamza.
question is, guys, is Kevin De Bruyne in the Premier League all-time 11?
Yes, easy. Has to be.
You
He's
could
in the
argue for him.
conversation. I
Has
wouldn't
to
say
be.
no.
Argue for
It's
him,
not
yeah.
easy like Hamza's saying.
Nah, it's definitely not easy.
Hamza has skipped the all-time Premier League 11, and he's putting him in all-time football 11.
Which is crazy.
Listen, that's the level. Like, listen, when you got my team being named as the best team in the world in the Ballon d'Or,
Brother,
people
we
say
done that.
Real Madrid have won it.
We did that
It's
last
because
year,
of De
bro.
Bruyne.
Does that make it
De
make
Bruyne is the reason.
Exactly. Listen to
De
that.
Bruyne is the reason.
Honestly, come on.
did that last year.
Makes no difference.
Main character syndrome, seriously.
Hamza,
Come on.
Chelsea did that last season.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
these are frauds, man. They
No,
finished
no,
fourth.
Oh,
They
yeah,
finished
yeah.
fourth. Get out of here.
Liverpool should win the Champions League. There you go.
Fraud.
There you go.
They
You
finished
can
fourth.
do
I
anything
swear
you want.
Tribalism
Liverpool
in
did that
him. He
also.
can't hold it back, bro.
I
Didn't
didn't
Liverpool
accept
do
it.
that
I'm not.
also? Didn't Liverpool do that also?
No, Liverpool, I don't know. I
No,
have to
they
go
haven't
back.
yet.
But these guys finished fourth and they were being battered with Brentford and Port Vale. Was it?
It's because we
was
won
it
the Champions
Plymouth?
League, we won
By
the
the
Super
way,
Cup, we won the
this-
Club World Cup.
That's great, but they've
Brother.
still won the Champions League and you haven't,
Bro,
Hamza. Come on.
this
Exactly.
award,
We won
this
it
coveted
all.
award just was made 2 years ago. Like
Exactly.
like what are you talking
No,
about?
listen, last year was different. When you're drawing to Plymouth Egal and just smash and grab against Al Hilal, then I have to question why I have to
Brother said
name you
drawing
as
to
the best team in
Plymouth.
the world. I'll never accept it. So these guys,
Hey,
I'm
you're
not
on about
accepting
hold
that.
on. You're holding yourself to a high standard because you control the ball and all that. I remember when Mourinho beat you 2-0 and he said to Pep,
Yeah.
you can have the ball for 70, 80 minutes, we'll take the 3 points. That's how you win trophies or like how Chelsea done it and all that. You still haven't won it, so you can't talk
We're gonna
about
win it.
all time
We're gonna
11.
win
He's a
It's
big troll, bro.
ridiculous.
Ravi,
No,
you
by
got
the
him
way,
right, bro. He's a big troll.
Hamza, are you gonna win the Champions League this year?
Easy. I'm not. I don't sweat for Champions League. 2 years within
What
2
the
years.
hell
This
you
year,
why
next
are you
year.
lying? We
Hamza,
know you-
you do realise, Hamza, you said that the last 2 seasons in last season or 2 seasons in football was, and we'll win it and all that, and then you get knocked out and you go missing.
Because I'll tell you
You
what,
know you
Alan, I'll tell you, in the Champions League, I call these teams, I call them pickpocketers. Yeah,
Right.
the thieves. Chelsea,
Mhm.
Atletico Madrid, they pack the
Cry
bus
some more,
and they'll
mate.
pickpocket
Cry
you
some more.
last
We
minute
have
and they'll
two of
pack the
them.
bus. I hate them. I can't stand them because
We have one
these
on your
guys-
head top, bro. It's fine.
these guys,
It's cool. It's
these
cool.
guys
We
don't
beat you
deserve to
get
win it. This year,
We
we've
deserve
got
to win it,
Haaland.
bro. We deserve to
This
win
year,
it.
I've got Haaland. You can park the bus as much as you want. Ask Kendall. They try to park the bus. We hit 3 quickly. Bang, bang, bang.
But so
There
did
you
they.
are. You're shocked.
So did they.
So we
What's your
got
point?
Haaland. So this year, I'm bringing the Champions League back home to England.
Where was Haaland against Liverpool?
Haaland is Liverpool. Okay, that's one game, man.
Or Bournemouth.
But you said he would
Bournemouth,
score
he
in
scored
every
a hat-trick,
game.
I
It
think.
doesn't matter what
Yeah,
you
he
do,
did.
apparently.
He did.
That's where he had 8 touches that game. Was that the game on about? He had 8 touches.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we back. Did you not beat Bournemouth?
No,
Was he
he
Nottingham?
didn't score.
No,
He didn't score.
Man,
against
the guy scored so many hat-tricks. I'm confused. this the level. This is the level.
you see
I
how he
need them
deflects.
problems in my life. That's the sort of problems I want.
Huh?
Wait, can I just say something about Haaland, right? We're not going to get away from the fact that how good he really is. Obviously, he's coming and off, and he's taken to the Premier League like a duck to water and all that. But also, he has the best team behind him. Look, you put any great striker in that team, great striker, like Aguero was and everything like that, you're going to get them banging in goals, this, that, and the other. So he's doing a great job, but he's got the best team. If he was to go into any other team in the Premier League, he's not banging 17 in because he's enabled by the great team that is Man City. And you got to say they are a great team.
No, but do you watch him in a game? Like, he tracks back, he drops in the space, he reads the game so well. Like, he just, I think everyone's like giving him a disservice by saying that anyone would score there, because I don't actually think there's many strikers as good as he is that would actually drop in the space like he does. He tracks back all of the time. He'll drop into midfield if he needs to. Like,
there's only
and
one.
I saw that in the flesh yesterday, and that's what I was surprised at. Because
Well, I'm not doing it a service, but I know a striker that does that as well. And I reckon if you reverse the roles, obviously this is me just saying, like, if you reverse the roles, because Kane does that as well. If you reverse the roles and put Kane in Man City, I think he scores just as many, maybe more than he has now. If you put Haaland in that Spurs team as of now, I don't think he has anywhere near 17. That's just me being honest.
I don't think Harry Kane athletically can score some of the chances that Haaland's
scores. No chance.
Like,
Why do you need to be athletic? Why do you need?
Haaland is half volleying balls that are near his head. Like,
okay,
no, but
he's done one goal.
All right,
Kane has goals that come over his shoulder and he volleys in the corners as well.
Alan, you know me, bro. I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm not supposed to like Harry Kane. So let me give you something to tell these lot, yeah? Are we really going to try and rule out the flipping intelligence of Harry Kane, guys? Because this brother is not just scoring goals, he's providing them too, guys. Like, he does both ends of the game, bro. Let's not lie.
I personally think with the age and the price that Harry Kane would have cost, Manchester City dodged the bullet, and they
got a better deal. They got a better deal.
Yeah, no one's arguing that.
Got a better deal, no doubt. But to say, like I said, any really good striker, quality striker in that Man City team bangs as many goals. Maybe not.
Bro, let's be honest.
I feel a little bit of insecurity. I feel a little bit of insecurity from Spurs fans. Not you, Alan.
From insecurity.
Not this. 1 second. I sense a little bit of insecurity from Spurs fans based on the fact that ever since I tweeted this thing out, that people have been going on my neck because last season, Harry Kane's season total has already been equaled by Haaland this season.
Easy.
11
wait, hold on.
Easy.
You're going on last season where he didn't show up to December, Harry Kane.
That's not my point.
He was pretty much
my point is, it's not to make fun of Harry Kane, but it was to show how good Haaland is, that he's already got.
No, it's to show how good Man City are, guys. Why are we acting blind? Why are we acting blind?
This is what he's like with football fans now. So polarized just by what, like,
literally. Listen to what Alan has just said to you. Alan said to you, if you take Harry Kane out of that Spurs team, put him in that Man City team with the chances that is created by that team, he scores just as many, if not more, as Haaland does. But can you say the same about Haaland being taken out of that Man City team and being put in Spurs
team?
If you're in a good team, you're gonna always look better anyway because your team around you. Like, I've seen it with us. We've had a quality to the team, and there's players like Almiron and Joe Linton now who look loads better. So that's like a given. But I think that comment was just about, like, kind of touch on what I was going to say, because I think Kane would have to be as effective as Haaland in a deeper role.
Which he
score as many as Haaland does for Man City.
He does.
But he would.
He does it all the time.
This is honestly, I'm not even the biggest Kane fan. And I swear to God, we're doing a disservice to Kane here. Like, Kane is as good, guys. In that regard, Kane would score as many goals and probably even provide more.
He would not.
That's simple. It's the simple answer, bro. He's doing it in a worse team.
And Mojo doesn't care for Spurs or Kane.
Man, screw them both.
Correct in the house. Step correct in the house.
I just wanted to say, I wanted to say that to prove this about Haaland, look at his goal scoring record at Salzburg, look at his Dortmund, look at for Norway, look at for Man City. It's similar. My guy is scoring goals in each level, like wherever he goes. Harry Kane.
No one's doubting how good Haaland
hit
is.
that level.
No one's doubting how good. No one's doubting how good Haaland is. What we're saying is Harry Kane isn't a worse off player, guys. Exactly. That's what we're saying here. Harry Kane is still being disrespected in this conversation right now. We have 110% disrespected Harry Kane, despite him being a consistent player at Spurs, despite how crap of a team they have been at times. We've literally, that's what we're doing, bro.
That's a great point, Mojo. All I've heard for since Harry Kane's been in Tottenham, Spurs are shit, Spurs did and that. Look at the goals he scored, look at the consistency, look at the amount of goals he scored. He's the last person that I believe has outscored in the calendar year until they dropped off Messi and Ronaldo playing for that shit Spurs team. For people just to because he's won. I know exactly what Hamza's going to go to. He's won no trophies. That means he's nowhere near. I'm not taking away from. I know exactly. I can read you like a book, Hamza. I'm not saying Haaland's bad at all. Haaland is far from bad. He's a quality striker, and he's going to go on to great things. He's going to smash all records. And when I give him his flowers now, and he's obviously going to only get better. But to say at this moment in time that Kane wouldn't be able to do in Man City team what things doing when he does drops just as deep, and you've seen how lethal he is, especially with playing. He's got 10 in 12, his best return of the season so far. The only reason people aren't talking about it is because of what Haaland's doing. But what I'm saying is, in such a bit team that doesn't create, and no creative midfielder or anything like a De Bruyne, he's still got 10 in 12, and he's still assisting as well. And he's done it last season, he's done it season before, and he's done it pretty much every season since he burst onto the scene at Spurs. And that's just me speaking sense. I'm not saying Kane is absolutely miles clear of Haaland. I'm saying he could do the same job in that Man City team.
You know what, guys? I love the fact that we've spent so much time talking about Manchester City and Haaland. We do this every week now. Ever since Haaland's come in, the Manchester City segment just gets longer and longer and longer because we can't stop talking about him. He is the biggest draw your club has bought, and this is why you guys wanted him. He also boosts your profile of your club way more than.
Let's talk about Pep, man. Let's talk about Pep. That fraud that lied to us said we cannot replace him. He clearly has. That guy lied to us, bro. He lied to all of us.
Pep
Absolute liar, bro.
You know one thing he didn't lie about? Arsenal's a serious club. That's what he didn't.
Look at this.
Let's move on to quick. We need to do quick fire rounds. So I'm gonna point out a game. You guys tell me if you want to stop or if you want me to move on. So the first game I'm gonna talk about is obviously West Ham Bournemouth. It hasn't happened yet, so we're gonna move past that. Aston Villa sacked Steven Gerrard and they won 4-0 versus Brentford.
He was the problem.
Brentford are mid club. Mid-club, mid-team.
I can't say that. I drew to them. So, look.
Aston Villa have finally released the shackles that is Steven Gerrard, and they came back with a great victory. So, it looks like they've done the right thing in getting rid of him. And I said that because Zam's in the comments right now.
100%. I was about to do it as well. I'm not even going to...
Why did we ask... What? Why did we ask why Newcastle are the best team in England yet?
Did we ask why Newcastle are the best team in England yet?
Newcastle aren't the best team in England.
We did actually, thank you for bringing it up again. That's really, really, it's lovely to see that.
Shout out Hussam.
I need all the practice I can get.
Hey, Hussam, if you want to jump on, you can jump on, you know.
Hey, Hussam is in the gutter, man, right now, man. He don't want to talk about football at all, bro.
You know what?
His team has exhausted him, bro.
You know, someone here had something interesting to say. They said, Egal, this brother with the glasses back again, G.
He's a G fam.
I gotta get Hamza on more often. Don't worry,
Hamza's hilarious, man.
Hamza, we're gonna get you on more often, especially World Cup, because my guy, he has the craziest takes from the World Cup. Can't wait for that. You know what?
Can do a Kevin De Bruyne watch, innit? Let's see if KDB performs in the World Cup.
It's gonna be a good one. But yeah, guys, Aston Villa sacked Steven Gerrard. They won 4-0. Clearly, the players weren't playing for him. Maybe.
No.
Do you think it's that simple? It's just that simple. We're going to move on to the next game. Everton, Crystal Palace. 3-0. Am I wrong? I am not going to lie. Iwobi. What the hell happened to Iwobi? This is not the Iwobi that I was watching last season or the beginning of the season.
Let's talk about it. Frank Lampard, bro. Let's talk about it. The man that made it happen.
Stop clapping. You, Man United, and that towards the end of last season had the chance to put Everton down and you fucked it up. It's on you guys that are in this season.
That's true. And just because I tell you what, something lives in my brain every single day. Actually, it doesn't anymore because we did beat them on Wednesday, so it doesn't really live there anymore. But it's kind of moved out and its partner's moved in. However, we also did lose them 1-0 at Goodison last year, and that really pissed me off because they were so bad. And I was like really angry about it because we were so good, and it was like one of the teams that we lost to, and we could have sent them down. And I was even willing to lose like 14-0 at Burnley on the last game of the season just to see Everton go down. Everyone knows that I hate Everton. I hate the Scouse Mackhams like more than anything in this world. Like, you don't understand. I literally can't stand them. So when I hear praise, I'm just like, actually, like, boils of rage inside me.
I'm just here to praise Frank Lampard. I just want to make it very clear. That's what I'm here to do, man.
No,
Frank Lampard is cleared of Stevie G,
we played
guys.
on Wednesday.
We gotta say it how it is, bro.
They didn't have a shot on goal.
Shameless.
Hey, all I'm saying is Patrick Vieira, that result, I did not see that coming. So I'm kind of shocked. I can't believe that. Yeah.
Did you see the goal where they played it out from the back and they just pass?
Bro, that's
Iwobi's assist.
Bruh, I don't know what to tell you, lot, man. I'm just saying.
Frank Lampard, bro. Yo, I was watching. I don't know why I was watching it. I was on TikTok, and then I was watching an Everton fan doing a live watch along. And when he did that pass, he's like, "Oh my God, Frank Lampard ball! Oh, that is Frank Lampard ball!" He literally jumped out of his chair, started jumping. I'm like, "Oh!" If you guys don't know Kieran Rance, shout out Kieran Rance. I was on his stream. I swear to God, the man did this. He said, "That's Frank Lampard." He was I'm like, these guys are loving Frank Lampard. He's turned the team around. He's turned the fans around. Everyone's going in the same direction at Everton. And I don't know why they were after you guys, Newcastle, the other day. My boy from that Everton channel was just after you guys. I don't know what the hell that was about.
Because honestly, to tell you why, here's the thing. I'm going to put about everyone always asks me why we have some sort of weird rivalry with Everton, right? And there's always like, like a club that's not your rivals at all, but you have like a weird thing with them all the time. There's always that one club. Everton's ours, right? Because when we got sent down, for some reason, they took banners to the Sunderland. I think they were playing Sunderland, and they took banners to the game, being like "sub on the time" and all that. And I was like, "What? That you've done that, right? Because you are the second club in your city. No one cares about you. You're like the ugly little brother that literally everyone doesn't even like. Like you just never do it. You never win anything. You're like just such a small club. So now they love the fact that like we've got this little rivalry, and it's all really, really bad, and it's just like we just hate them. And obviously Jordan Pickford has an absolute shocker every single time he plays at St James's Park. So, and obviously he's a Sunderland boy. So, yeah, it's just a mixture of things, really. Obviously, they ruined Rafa's life, which I don't like. I don't even know why I went there, to be honest, because, well, it is what it is at this point. But, yeah, so that's why we don't like them, really. But to be fair, Frank Lampard, he was one of the most measured approaches. Like, obviously, because Eddie Howe's been getting absolute pelters for the past 2 weeks since Klopp's comments, like last week. And like, Frank Lampard actually spoke like really measured about it, and he was like one of the best responses I've actually seen in the situation. So fair enough to Frank Lampard, but still I don't like Everton. If he was elsewhere, I'd probably maybe like him a bit more, but he's at Everton, so I'm never gonna like him.
Okay. So in conclusion, guys, what we can say is Kendall's happy talking about Newcastle United, but as soon as he mentioned Everton, it's a different story. She's like one of us. She gets miserable and pissed off.
Can we talk about another team that has a manager we thought was going to get sacked? Leicester won 4-0.
Wow.
I'm actually shocked. Bro, they had 4 shots. They had 4 shots on target, guys. They scored all 4 of them.
Wow. Them nudes that he's been holding on to against the whole entire hierarchy at Leicester, them nudes have paid off because he's still got a job, and now he's out of the relegation zone. He knows how to keep himself in the job.
Leeds was so bad though. Like
they're going
really bad.
Dominated. Literally, the 21 shots Wolverhampton had, guys. Wolverhampton dominated this game. I don't know how they won 4-0, guys. I can't explain this. It's shocking, bro. 60% possession for Wolverhampton too, guys. I generally don't know. Like, literally, the game makes no sense. 0 sense, bro. I don't know how he's surviving this.
I'm worried because we're playing them next now. Leicester.
Why are you worried?
We're playing Villa as well, so...
I don't want them to do this. Good.
Jamie Vardy started to have Red Bull again. So, yeah, man, I would be worried if I were you too, man.
Oh, Jamie Vardy was playing.
You know what? The court case is over. Now he's playing.
Came off the bench, I think.
Because Leeds are really bad, and they've gone in Leicester's place now, haven't they, in the relegation zone, haven't they?
Oh, wow.
Is it Leeds, Wolves, and Nottingham Forest now in the relegation zone? Is that how it is?
Yeah, it's Nottingham Forest, Wolves, then Leeds. And they all have 9 points, by the way.
That's a weird. I don't even know what's happened in this relegation.
Wolves are a good side, but they just don't have a striker. They're very, very good side. They can play the ball. Matthew Nunes, the midfielder, is impressive. If he goes, I want him.
Hey, look, if they have a relegation release clause for him, hey, Wolverhampton, you got to go down.
Honestly,
take one for the team, mate.
6 players molds.
Ruben Neves, Matthew Nunes, I'm taking the whole Portuguese team, man.
Ruben Neves can play for any team in this league. That's how good.
I think Ruben Neves is quality, man.
I think you guys would have him over Calvin Phillips.
Nah, Matthew Nunes. Matthew Nunes is the guy that we were after for a whole year. He was playing for Sporting Lisbon. He could
Phillips
drive
even
forward.
play a game for you, lot?
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, he played well against us in.
My guy. Big up. Nor saying, any Liverpool fans on here, LOL. No Liverpool fans. If you guys don't know him, he has the biggest Nottingham Forest channel on YouTube. Go check him out. My guy, Dor.
Hey, big up, man. Big up.
Big up, Dor. He
can't win, man.
You know what? That is amazing. But yeah, anyways, before we move on, there's one more topic that we need to discuss. Leeds got beat by Fulham in a game that ended 3-2. And let me just tell you guys, Willian came back to score a goal. And I think he's the one that scored the winner. Now, Willian scored the winner.
William is back.
Willian scored the winner in the 84th minute, but then he scored an 84th minute goal to make it 3-1, and then in the 91st minute they scored a goal to even it up. But Mitrovic, and you know who another major talking point is in this game? I think Pereira got 2 assists in this.
Correct.
Game,
I was about to tell you that. Yeah.
in the number 10 position. So this is just a renaissance for a couple players. First of all, Mitrovic. Kendall, we thought his career was done when he left you guys. He's found a lot of form recently, and then
it's took him a few years though actually find Premier League form since he left us, because he's never quite hit the levels that he hits in the Championship, and that, like, he's always been really, really poor. But he seems to be a little bit more on form this time. I think it's because obviously Fulham have signed some really decent players. I really rated Fulham's transfer window this summer. So. Yeah, but they were just a bit of a weird, like, we beat them 4-1, and I was like, God, and that was that was at Craven Cottage as well. Now I was watching the game, I was like, God, these are so poor. But then you watch them other times and you think, oh, actually, they're actually quite good. I don't know, they're just a bit of a mixed bag for me. To be fair, I had them going down as well, but I didn't think Marco Silva was gonna like do anything, but they look all right at the moment.
They do.
You know, Liverpool fans are starting a rivalry with Nottingham Forest. Look at that, my guy's.
Wow, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh, damn, man.
I'm just gonna say this. Did you guys have anything else to say on the Leeds Fulham game, or because looking from a Leeds side, that's pretty poor?
I can't lie. I did not expect Fulham to do well. I'm with Kendall on this one. Like, generally, I thought they were going to be so bad, and for whatever reason, I think they've done. I think when they even went down, when I looked at some of their signings, they seemed like long-term signings, not immediate sort of signings. And it seems to be now showing dividends for them. So I think if they carry on with that sort of mindset, get the right experience, but make sure you're also building for the future, they might be able to become a stable club in the Premier League. But at the moment, they've done well for themselves. 18 points from the first 12 games. It's actually really good on their books, man. Well done to them.
I'll well, obviously Mojo seconded it, so I'll third it. Mitrovic never done it in the Premier League. He only have done the Championship, so you were thinking, will he be able to convert? This time he has. It looks like he's found a team that works for him, so that's good for him. I will say it's still early. Obviously, everyone had them to be relegated. It's still early. Anything can happen. I remember years ago, Hull had like 30 points from the first, like possible 38, 39, and they got a couple more points and they almost got relegated. So it's still early. You know, anything can happen in Premier League. You can go on a bad run of form, but they are exceeding what everyone asked for them to do that. What was that, sorry?
Oh, no, I think someone just moved something.
So, you know, I wouldn't get too. It's still only like October, so anything can happen. You still got the World Cup. It's the same for people down there, rather than when people say about going for the league because of like not knowing because of the World Cup. So yeah, I think you have to take that into mind with people down below and all that. So although you've got teams kicking into life now, it can go the opposite way straight after the World Cup because
you know what, the way you talk about them, you're talking about them as if they're borrowers, the people down below. But yeah, if you guys ever watch the borrowers, you know the borrowers, the little people.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, that's an old people joke, I guess. Anyways, you guys have yourselves a good one. We're gonna wrap it up here. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. It's a pretty long episode. So big up to everyone. Hamza, amazing debut on Vibes from the Six. Amazing.
Thank you, guys.
My guy Hamza. We got Kendall here. Kendall, you're gonna be here soon. Don't worry. Someone's gonna get replaced. Don't worry. Someone's getting.
God damn! I hope it's not me, man.
You guys got to be careful, right? Because I know I'm good this season at least.
You know, I'm not sweating.
We got Alan. Alan, you better win a game next time I see you.
We will. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping.
Wait, Alan, who have you not got next?
We can't lose to Bournemouth, otherwise I'm just not showing up.
Oh, you got Bournemouth next. Yeah, you can't lose.
Oh, that competition you're not in that you don't know about. Oh, yeah, we've got Sporting Lisbon. We'll win. I'm going to the game as well.
What happened last time you played them?
Okay, but this time it's going to be different. And we're still going to get out of the group. Hey, Gal, do you know what it's like to play in the Champions League this season? You don't. Right, anyway.
Anyways, fair enough. Mojo, what are you saying? No more trips to San Siro?
Hey, brother, for flipping hell. Nah, man, I'm not doing that eat scooter business, man. Crazy trip, man. I'm glad I did both games, though, man. I'm happy about it.
Okay, would you ever go back?
And honestly speaking, I would rather face Napoli next, but I've done Roma away, I've done Milan away. I'd rather actually go Napoli this time. So I don't know, man. Maybe If someone up there is listening to me right now, please just make that happen. Napoli versus Chelsea in the Champions League.
They'll beat you. They're dangerous.
I know they're dangerous, but I don't care about that, bro. I want the experience of going to that stadium, man.
Okay.
I'm not like Man City, bro. I have all the money and then I'm scared of big teams. What's the point, bro? What is this? Like,
You know
Listen,
what?
I'll go
I'm going to
Dortmund.
finish it off here. But before I do, guys, do me a favor. Go check out my match reaction and leave a comment down below on the match reaction. Let me know what you guys think. How about the algorithms? I don't know what's going on with my with the match reactions. They're not getting the same level of interactions. But if you guys can do me a favor, go over there. Go check out the match reaction. Let me know what you thought about my match reaction and what you thought about the game versus Southampton. Thank you for watching Vibes from the 6. Big up to all the boys who've been here and girls, of course, Kendall. And you guys have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. We're out of here. And yeah, please, guys, be respectful.
Chelsea.
Why do you always do this? Always.
You Spurs.
No. Not today.
Today. You Spurs.